Hi, and welcome back to the Rachel Albee Show. Today is going to be one of those days where I share from the heart. But it's going to be a little bit different because it's going to start with a story. Tonight, I was having a conversation with my daughter because a statement was made to her from an adult, about TV shows like Downton Abbey. I don't know when that was out. And how the conclusion that he had walked away from with these shows and how women are treated in general is that the story being told and taught is just, don't be a female. I completely resonate with what he's saying, or was saying, but it was said in front of my daughter, whose immediate thought process was to question whether or not she should be sad that she was a girl. To question whether or not she should wish she was not a girl. This isn't a story about words and being careful with them, although that is also important, but it is about, and that moment was taken to explain, but it is about my daughter, but more so the heart behind it. So I sat there and I pulled her aside and I was like, no, that's not the right takeaway here. The right takeaway isn't fix yourself. Wish for something to be that can't be. The takeaway here is, instead of looking at broken people, acting in broken ways, and treating people how they shouldn't be treated, it's instead seeing what is. It's observing and not pretending that something is different than it is. It's observing and seeing it. And it's knowing how to move forward and engage with it. I told her that she doesn't need to be a man just because somebody else has communicated or indicated that it's better to be, because that's their viewpoint. And she asked why, and I said, well, honestly, it comes down to two things. People talk in demeaning and hateful ways. Ultimately, what I feel like it comes down in two ways: ignorance and stupidity. She looked at me funny, and I explained, ignorance is not knowing something, not knowing any better. And stupid is knowing better, but deciding to turn a blind eye, pretend to be ignorant. Because you get gain from it, because you like it better, because any number of reasons, but ultimately that's what it is. And so instead of trying to curtail who you are and change who you are for that person who's acting in ignorance or stupidity, instead, know who you are, accept who you are, have grace and love who you are, and engage with the world as it is and call it out. Talk loudly, take up space, be loud, and don't let someone degrade you because of the color of your skin, because of your gender, because of your sexuality, because of any number of things that another person can do to dampen who you are. Don't let somebody else's overbearing opinion on something that isn't something they know. They don't know you better than you. They don't know what you're capable of. So I'm having this conversation with her and walking her through all of this, and I just wanted to share, because I feel like often we do this to ourselves. We hear something, and it's often a story we've been told by our father, our mother, our grandparent, or any number of person in our life, that we have this story in our head about the solution to a problem being somehow to change something that's unchangeable, somehow to be something you can't be, or not be something you can't not be. I talked to her about the fact that, yeah, it does mean that some things in life are just going to be harder, and that sucks that that's a reality, and I wish it wasn't true for you. But because of people in the past seeing that and trying to make the situation better, it's not as bad as it was. And because you can see it and see what the truth is, you can speak to that. You can take up space and you can say, no, I will be heard. I have an opinion. I am intelligent. Just because you don't agree with me doesn't mean it is any more true. And how you go about actually making a difference and actually living that life is accepting exactly who you are. No box or box, however that fits for you. And not trying to be something you can't be. But it also means you have to own the fact that no one is going to come save you. And not in a mean or hurtful way, but no one is going to come save you. Life's not going to be pretty and perfect. And somehow the society isn't going to somehow fix itself. I wish, that'd be so great if we had some type of utopian whatever. But you know what? We'd probably mess that up too. Because we're people and we are messy. But what we can do is we can save ourselves. You had a messed up childhood. You didn't have a parent. You didn't have a mom. You didn't have a dad. You didn't have care. You can't fix that. You can't. But you can learn how to be that mom for yourself. You can go back and learn how to accept yourself for who you are. You can go back and you can pay attention to the stories that you tell yourself based on lies that somebody else fed you. We often sit here and think about the things we can't do, can't be. But there is a world of possibilities in all the things we can, if we only look that way instead. So my daughter doesn't need to sit there and think about how she should be a man or wished she was a man because of how society is. That's not a thing she can do, nor would it help anybody. But there's lots of things that she can do. We can't do. There is beauty in owning the fact that no one is going to come save you. Not in a isolationist, independent, you have to do it on your own kind of way. What I mean by that is, if you had a childhood that was bumpy, that's not going to change. But you can change and heal now. And nobody's going to do that but you. My daughter can't be a man. In the sense of, but you know what I mean. That gets into a complicated, I'm not trying to dismiss any of those things. Anyway, my point is simply her wishing to be that simply because it's hard isn't going to help her. But what will is looking at how she can help others around her see the reality, the beauty, and the amazingness that is each individual person. Also the messed up, junky things, but oh my goodness, there's so much beauty in most every person. It's about, instead of looking at the can'ts, the problems, the I don't wants, look at what you do want. Define it specifically. I don't mean in a passive kind of small way, but I mean specifically. You want to heal? What does healing look like? You want to be successful? What is success to you? You want to have a happy family? What does that look like? Define it. And look for the people that can help you get there because they've already gone through the process. That's the beauty of this day and age, right? Like there's so much information at our fingertips. We don't have to figure out the how. Like 99% of the time, we just have to figure out the who. Because the how's already out there. That's wonderful and beautiful. So I challenge you today, much like I did my daughter. When you see something that's defeating and shouldn't be, and it's wrong, and needs to be addressed, speak out about it, yes. But no one is coming to save us but ourselves. So look at the ways that you can. The movement that is. That's my challenge. As is always, thanks for taking the time. And I hope you have an amazing and blessed day.